might get a little emotional too. So I met Eli, both of them at Trinity. I worked with them, and it's a pleasure to be here. I first met him when he was actually a high school student, and he was visiting Trinity, and he stayed in our suite, and I thought he was really cool. I thought he was funny, but also serious, and had a good radio voice, and that was my main memory of him. And then, I don't think we really exchanged contact information or something. I kind of lost touch with him. And then it was next year, and a good friend of mine, who is a good friend of Eli, named Justin, he said, I'm going to bring with one of my residents, and he's really cool. I think you'll like him, to this gathering we were going to have. And then I looked at Eli for a second, and it was probably too long and a little awkward. And I'm like, do I know you? And he's like, I think I stayed in your dorm last year. And it was true, he did. And I was very impressed with him from the beginning. The main line I thought of, I think I remember telling you towards the end of your freshman year, was that you were the rock of your class. And that turned out to be true over the years. A guy wise and mature beyond his years, who really sacrificed and made himself available to people who needed somebody to process with, who needed somebody to make them feel included. And I was very proud of Eli from the beginning. And then we had the privilege of working together. I was his boss, and he was the best employee I've ever had. For 2 years, he was an RA. And Olivia, you were an RA the second year, right? And I always loved doing one-on-ones with Eli. He was so relaxing to listen to as he described situations, and I had so much confidence in him. And something that always struck me is when Eli would make a good conclusion or sort of thought that he came to, he would always put it into action. And that was always very convicting for me, because he'd make a realization oh, this would be an appropriate thing to do, or this is an area where I should grow. And then he'd actually do it right away. I'm like, well, that's convicting. I'm used to just being all talk. And something that always struck me with Eli is I thought, and I couldn't really put my finger, I don't know if I told you this in words, but I thought Eli really belongs as a husband, because he has this very deep heart. Mm-hmm. He really receives people well. He's good at being present with people during difficult times when it's inconvenient to him. And he has so much love to give. He really deserves somebody who would love him back in the same way. Mm-hmm. And then Olivia came along. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, this girl's mature and smart. Well, those are good things. Those are positive things. And it struck me, right before you guys got engaged, I think you were at church one day with me, and I said to somebody, I forgot that they ever weren't dating before. I guess they were born single, but oh, did I say that right away to you? So apparently I already said it to Eli. And I was like, wow, these guys just fit together so well. I forgot they ever were, not together. And it's a privilege to be here. One time, Eli was filling out this review for me, and for when I was his boss, and he said in there, I would trust him with my life. And I may have shed a poignant tear when I read it. And then I kind of plagiarized Eli a little bit when I was filling out a job recommendation for him, and said, I was this guy's boss, but really he was the most independent and trustworthy person. I would trust him as my boss. I would trust him with my life. And then a couple minutes later, I got a text from Eli saying, "Aw, thanks, buddy." And I thought anonymous, review or reference letter went right to him. And so I'm still a little bit bitter and embarrassed about that. You're supposed to know how strongly I felt about you guys. So thank you very much for the honor of being best man, for being here. I have full confidence in you guys. You are a very good example to me. And you guys are so mature and grounded. And my main charge to you would be confident in who God has made you to be and how he's made you to relate to each other, because you're a very special, interesting, unique match. And I would ad-lib a little bit and add that because you have such deep hearts of hospitality, and Eli, you have been so available to so many people, make sure to prioritize showing that love to each other. Don't forget about each other, because that's your primary covenantal mission in life. Thank you very much.